making my music video and digipack, I came across many different difficulties, yet many things that I managed to accomplish easily. There are some controversies in my media products which don't necessarily conform to the conventions of the pop rock genre. Some of these things include splashes of colour of pink in digipack and advert which aren't always seen in the pop rock genre. However, because my target audience is mainly aimed at girls, I think that the pink is needed. It gives a feminine touch to the harsh blacks and greys that I've used. Also, when it came to editing a music video in Aimee, me and my group decided that we should adjust the colours slightly. We ended up choosing a slight pink tint as it brightened up the film and coincidentally links with my digipack and my target audience. This gives my media product continuity. I've also used a floral background as part of my digipack, my music advert and the front part of my digipack. This links to the more pop side of pop rock genre. I decided to include a floral touch to my digipack because it was going to be part of our music video also. However, after filming sections of the video, we decided not to include the flower. This was because we already had a lot of footage, and with the weather the way it was, a flower wouldn't have fit in with the cold weather and the bare trees. Many of the problems I encountered on making my media product was linked with the filming aspect. This was because there were multiple problems that we had to overcome. The main problem was the weather. This was because we needed it to be fairly sunny when it came to filming, despite the fact that it was winter and quite a few times it became windy and rainy. We couldn't film when it was raining, however we used the wind to our advantage, and as it was a nice effect on our chorus and the close-ups. Another problem was getting everyone together on the schedule for filming. The concept of our video was an outside party, so we needed a fair few people to come and play the parts. We couldn't get lots of people to come in on different days wearing the same clothes to have the party atmosphere, so we decided on a small gathering of friends instead, as it was easier to get everyone wearing the same clothes on different days of filming. Most of the time, we were able to keep everyone's hair and clothing the same. However, there is one scene in the film where there was a slight difference in clothing, so if we were to do it again, I would pick up on that error and improve on it to keep the continuity for my video. Despite this accidental clothes change, we've used a deliberate clothing change in the chorus to show that the artist is on her own on a different day. We've used the use of colours to show this also. The white clothing shows innocence and that she is vulnerable, having been left alone by the guy in the video, in contrast to when she's wearing dark clothing when she's with everyone else at the party, fitting in with everyone else. The clothes that she is wearing in the video are also the same clothes that she's wearing in the digipack. I've done this to keep the continuity and so that the digipack can be easily linked to the video. This also helps to tie my media products all together. Another continuity error that we came across was the quality of the camera. Because we had to shoot the video multiple times on different days, we had to use a different camera each time, so when it came to uploading the footage onto iMovie, some of it wasn't as good quality as it could have been. This led to it being more grainy and more blurry than some of the footage that we had already previously recorded. However, we created strong continuity with the transitions that we had used for our video. We had only used a small group of transitions: cross blur, cross dissolve and the fade to black. When it came to using photos for my digipack, I had used multiple photo shoots. My initial idea was to have the artist outside with the trees, linking it to my video being outside near a tree. However, these photos didn't turn out too well, and didn't look as professional as they could have been. Because of this, I decided to have a photo shoot inside with a white backdrop and professional lighting to get better quality images. This worked a lot better, and I managed to get some good photos. In the photos, I had my artist posing in a fun way to invite the audience in and also relate to the music, showing that it is a fun music to listen to. When deciding for a font to use for my digipack, I browsed many different websites to find the font that would work best for it. I came across a nice font. However, when I came to edit my images and adding the fonts into the digipack, it became difficult because the style of font was quite thin, which made it difficult to see when the digipack was put to the right dimensions. The only colour of font that would work nicely and tie in well with the other colours I used in my digipack was white, and the combination of having a thin font and it being white became a problem. Because of this problem, I decided to change my font. I'd still kept the original font for the front cover and for larger titles, but I then used another font for the smaller text. To keep the continuity, I've used a photograph that I took in my photo shoot for my music advertisement also. I've chosen to do this so that all my media products are linked together, and so that the album is easily recognised with the image that I've decided to use. The image that I've used is very similar to the insert photo on my digipack, as it engages the audience because it is a fun photograph. This conforms to the music conventions because after researching into other digipacks and music adverts, I found that the other images on both products are the very same or they're either very similar, and this is also why I've done the same, conforming to my genre. I've used the rule of thirds for the back of my digipack, which I think works as it gives a flow to the digipack and the eye is drawn to the different sections of the back, and therefore the text stands out, which is the main aspect for the back of the digipack. The colours I've used for the front and back tying together, which is what I aim to do, so that the overall look of the digipack flows. This is what I have found with looking at other artists' albums, as all the colours are the same and relate to their music style. And this is what I have tried to achieve also in my own. I've had to adapt and change a lot of my work because of my audience feedback suggestions. These included things like the placement of the images and the text on my digipack. I've had to change my magazine advert because of the image and it not being bright enough and lifting itself off the page, so I've adjusted the levels of brightness and contrast to achieve a better overall look. I've also had to try and make it look more professional, with the layout of the text using the rule of thirds, and with the title being at the top and standing out, and then having the image as the next focus, and then the information at the bottom. Despite this, looking at Ellie Goulding's music magazine advert and the information text at the bottom taking up at least half of the page, I've opted to use the rule of thirds instead, as this is more of a common approach to a music magazine advert. At the very beginning of the idea process for our media products, we use media-related technology to help us gain information to ideas and create our media products. For gaining ideas to use for my digipack, I researched albums of the pop rock genre to see how text and images were laid out across digipacks. I used Google, light research, and then explored further into the band's websites to look at the colour schemes, etc., as many artists' websites are linked with their album covers to help promote them. This is why I knew that I needed an iconic logo and an image for my digipack. When planning for photo shoots and filming, we had planned out our schedules quite well, as we needed to know if the people who were going to be in a video could make it and know if the equipment was available for us to use also. However, we didn't use that much equipment in the end, as every time we filmed, all we needed was a camera, an SD card and a tripod. This made filming easier because there wasn't too much that we needed and it was always available for us to use. Even on the photo shoots, we didn't use much equipment, only using a camera, a white backdrop and professional lighting. However, there were many different possibilities of the outcome for the photo shoot, because when the lights were moved around, we would get different outcomes. Also, when the camera was moved at different angles, we would get a different variety of photos. When it came to actually editing our video, we used Aimee. This was difficult to get the hang of to start with, and plus we had a lot of footage that we needed to convert so that it would play on Aimee in the first place. This took up a lot of time away from our editing. Another problem that we encountered was trying to get the video time with the music. We had to keep constantly changing the length of clips and adding in transitions so that it would fit in time. Also, when we had to make improvements to our video, this had changed the placement of the syncing of the video and our music. We came across another error with this because one part of the chorus is slightly out of sync, but I don't think that it's too noticeable and I don't think it ruins out our video because it is only a slight second. We tried to include many different camera angles in our video because when we filmed different sections multiple times to get a variety of camera footage. I also used Photoshop when it came to edit my photos for my digipack magazine advert. I was already familiar with Photoshop and I was able to use it quite easily. Despite this, it still took a long time to finish my digipack. This was because many times I was unsure of the composition, the layout and the colours. However, I was able to get opinions from my group members and also from my audience feedback, which helped a lot for the final outcome.